Yo, what up guys, your boy Williams Fitness back again with another video, and today we're going to cover the Boston Pro. We're going to recap, we're going to go everything that went down at the show, who were the winners, who came in better condition, and let's start it from the top. So obviously this was the first call out video, and obviously on stage we've got Samson Duda, William Bonac, we've got Steve Kuclo, and we've obviously got Justin Rodriguez as well. So obviously going through the standatory poses, obviously doing a side chest shot here. And looking at the outcome from this show, without skipping straight to the end, there was a couple of surprises in this show. I'm going to just pop up a picture now of Regan Grimes and Steve Kuclo back to back. Okay, so here's the shot. Obviously, Steve to the left, Regan to the right. Regan completely out-dominates Steve Kuclo in the back shot. The glutes aren't as good as Steve's, but the hamstrings look way better. This was quite a surprise, considering that Regan placed 7th and Steve placed 4th. I would have definitely had that switch the other way around. I definitely think Regan looked a lot better in this show than he did at the Arnold Classic, 100%. He placed 7th at the Arnold Classic, so it was 7th place twice. But back to the next video. So obviously left to right, we've got Justin Rodriguez, we've got Steve Kuclo, William Bonac, and Samson Duda. I definitely think Justin was just absolutely phenomenal, 100% second place. I genuinely think though Duda pipped Steve. I think that Samson should have been 3rd, and I would have had Steve in maybe 5th or even 6th. I think he looked fantastic at the Arnold. I don't think he looked as good at the Boston Pro. William Bonac, however, I do think just kept the same physique, brought the amazing physique he had at the Arnold, maybe made some minor adjustments throughout the week just to maintain it slightly and bring the same conditioning, and that did the job. But look at this side pose shot. I definitely think Samson looks a hell of a lot better. Even the quad sweep looks a little bit better on these angles than Steve Kuclo. Again, Steve looks better than he has done in the last 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. So I'm not trying to put Steve down. I just think from a sort of a fan perspective, I do think that Samson pipped it, and I do think Regan should have placed a hell of a lot higher. I'm very, very surprised that he got 7th position. Now let's take a look at some HD shots so we can get a better example. So from left to right, we've got Steve Kuclo, we've got Justin, William, and Samson. Now this is a fantastic shot of Steve. Personally, I think Steve looks the best in this lineup just because he's got that much grainier look. Especially if you look in the oblique areas from the latissimus dorsi down to the obliques. You can see a little bit more feathering. Same with Samson, but I do think Samson had a better back, better delts, and I think that's what did it for me, a better lower back also. William looks insane and Justin looks incredible. Bear in mind that some of these shots are at different angles, so obviously Justin's midsection and Williams is going to look slightly thicker considering the angle of the photo. I'm going to show a demonstration of what I mean about the camera angle. So this is Samson. Look at the obliques, look at the fibers, look at the striations coming through, all interlocked, knitted together, very, very low subcutaneous body fat. And now I'm going to show you Steve. So with Steve, again, low body fat, but the striations just aren't there. And obviously his elbow isn't at the highest point, so it depends on when the photo shot was taken. Was it as he was lowering? Was it as he was lifting? So obviously the previous shot he looked good, this shot he didn't look as good. So it just goes to show that some angles and the time of the photo might be between shots. So obviously now we've got Justin. He just looks absolutely insane. He's definitely one to watch. I can't wait to see what he brings to this Olympia, but I'm excited to see what he brings to future Boston Pro shows, future Arnold Classics, and future Mr. Olympia Championships. Now, next up, we've got another shot of William. He just looks incredible. I am going to touch on the gyno post that's going around. So obviously this was a photo, obviously just after he'd won, obviously praying You just know with William that he's super, super grateful for every win that he gets, especially after the defeat at the Arnold. And look at the face here. Look at the smile on this guy's face. He's so happy to get that win. He can go back home with another trophy yet again and some cash in his pocket. Next up, I do want to touch on the classic physique and one guy in particular, Urs Klasinski. I think he looked insane. Look at it's the face for me. He just sells it with a smile. He's so happy to be there. His posing's quite fluid. He does get a bit blocky in some portions of his routine where it's a bit stoppy-starty. There's not enough fluidity from one motion to the next. But I think that just comes with experience. Yet again, he's brought an absolutely insane physique. He's pretty much just tweaked on it from what he had at the Arnold Classic. I mean, just look how excited he is to be. I'm excited watching Urs just because I know how he's excited he is being there. See, again, there was quite a blocky, choppy sort of motion there to do a back shot. I think he's so excited, he's almost rushing through it. There we have the old Arnold side pose and the double bicep. The midsection's insane. I can't wait to see him up against someone like Chris Bumstead, though, and see where he really picks up against. Now we've got a brief clip of him, obviously thanking the fans.
Amazing out there. Honestly, I'm so happy to be here. You know, I heard, it's crazy.
Aww.
I was at the Arnold, and I did what Arnold said. I put that cookie down. Now, step back on the diet. And I'm so happy to be here in Boston.
See, that's what I love about this kid.
To the IFBB family, to the Boston Pro Show, make this show so great. And thank all of you guys for bringing the show here tonight. Give yourself a big hand. Thank you.
And there you have it from the man himself. He put the cookie down and won a second show back to back. Is just insane. Again, I can't wait to see what he can bring with the big boys, especially at the Olympia this year. And I just want to touch on the fact that these smaller shows are now becoming so renowned to being epic shows, like the Boston Pro, the Tampa Pro, the New York Pro. They're drawing bigger crowds, bigger fans, and just the purses are going up each time. It's insane. This show was fantastic. I can't recommend you enough for you guys to go and follow the accounts, not just of the athletes, but also follow the Boston Pro on Instagram. On that note, guys, I've been me, you've been you. Peace.